Hello, this is Keir from XenForo. In this video, I'm going to look at some initial steps you can take with a newly installed XenForo like this one towards having it match the branding on your existing website. I'm going to start by replacing the standard XenForo logo with the one from my site, and then I'll look at matching the color scheme and the font. The site I'm going to be working from is this one. You can see it's got a slightly darker and more muted color scheme than the standard XenForo palette, and its own demo logo, which we're going to be using on the forums, so let's start with that. Back on the XenForo page, I'm going to start by logging in as a user with administrative privileges. Then from there, I'm going to log in to the admin control panel itself. Now I'm going to tear this off so that I can keep various things open while I work. So let's head down into the appearance section of the control panel and open the style properties system. I'm going to begin by heading to basic options, and it's here that we're going to work with our logo. You can see that right now it's using the standard XenForo logo, but I'm going to upload a different logo that I've got prepared here. And you can see in these properties here that its dimensions are actually 400 pixels wide, which is much wider than I'm actually going to be displaying it on screen. But I want something bigger than is needed, because for users with high resolution, high density screens, they're going to see pixelation unless you have a sufficiently high resolution image. So I'm going to use something about that big, and we'll see about how to deal with that in just a moment. I'll hit OK on that, and it's uploaded. And if I hit save and go and refresh the front page, then the logo is in place. But you can see that it's displaying at its full 400 pixel width. So let's come back into here and say that actually we only want a width of about 150 pixels. And try that again. And it's perfect. You'll note that as we customize these things, we get this revert customized value option next to them. This is quite a nice system. It means that you can take any value that you've customized and just revert it back to the original value by clicking the checkbox and hitting save. So it's safe to play around with this without fear of permanently messing something up. Now that we've done that, let's go and do something with the color options. There are various options in XenForo for how to work with color. Each one of these blocks down here allows you to specify specific colors to use in specific places, but for the most part, all of those will source their actual color definitions from the color palette. So I'm going to work with that. And you can see here that we've got 5 primary colors that are defined without any specific purpose. They're just used elsewhere in the system. Let's head back over to the site itself. And as it happens, there are roughly 5 colors that we can work with here that are actually all just variations of the same thing. But let's see how we would approximate those. There are 2 options. We can either click on the color picker here and then sort of try to approximate the actual color that we want, or if we've got something from which we can take a reference, like a branding sheet or an existing site, then I can use the developer tools on my browser, this is Chrome, to pick out the exact colors. So I'm going to right click on here and inspect, and I'm going to pick up the header, and I can see that the background color is defined here as that RGB value. So I'm going to copy that with copy value, and then back in here I'm just going to replace that value, and you can see that it's overwritten it. And I'm going to do the same for these remaining 4, going from the darkest through to the lightest. So the next darkest is this. Let's inspect that, grab hold of that. I'm using Command C or Control C to copy that and pasting it in here. Then the third color I think is this one, so we'll inspect that, grab hold of the color and paste it in. The next color down would be this one, I think. What have we got? That looks good to me. Copy that one and paste it. And you can see that as soon as I paste it, it updates the screen. And finally, I've got this color down here. So let's inspect that and pick up the background color for that. I'll hit save on those. And of course, they will all be marked as customized. So I can revert those at any point if I wanted to change those, or I can just go straight in and change them here. But I don't want to, so I'm just going to press escape to get out of that. Now let's go and take a look at what that's done to XenForo itself. And as you can see, all the colors in XenForo that are defined by those primary colors have been updated with my new color scheme. We can reformat the things like the call to action button there with various other bits, but I think you get the idea of how we're working with that now. So the last thing to do is to go and take the typography from this and to apply that too. So let's find out what font we're using there. And we can see that we're actually using a font family of Avenir Next. So we'll come back to XenForo, switch over to the typography section, and we've got three different places that we can define a font. One is for the user interface, so that would be for any buttons or other stuff that is fixed on the screen rather than things that users have posted. We've also got the body text font, which is used for content within user-generated messages, etc. And we've got the code font, which we don't need to worry about for now. But the way I'm going to apply this font is I'm just going to add this to the beginning of this list. It will use these fonts in descending order of preference. So if the user has got Avenir Next on their system, it'll use that, and failing that, it'll try Sego, Helvetica, Neue, Helvetica, etc. So we'll do that for both of those, add a comma to make the list complete, and we'll hit save and go and take a look. And now we have the correct color scheme, the correct logo, and the correct typography to match my site.